David was like the little pebble that gets in your shoe, you know, where it just rubs and rubs and rubs until you start bleeding.
She and I didn't get along growing up. We just kind of lived our separate lives.
He would just annoy and push until I would lose my mind.
And did the normal fighting and bickering.
And then I would get in trouble. I would get in trouble for all of his issues. He still has issues I get in trouble over.
She was pretty much abusive towards me.
Was I abusive? Are you kidding? He is so ridiculous.
I grew up with my dad being a pastor, my grandpa being a pastor and then a district superintendent, my uncles being pastors.
I never saw myself going into ministry, not because I was opposed to it or because I thought it was a bad thing.
When I was in 7th grade, we went to youth camp in the summer. Charlie Alcock was my youth pastor. The guy that was speaking did the normal message, asking teens if they want to spend the rest of their life in full-time vocational ministry. So begrudgingly, I went up on stage and I said, I'm gonna do what God wants me to do. I'm gonna be in vocational ministry, but it will not be being a pastor.
I just don't think I saw myself as someone that could do ministry.
So then I went and did what you're supposed to do. I went to college and signed up to be a Christian ministries major at Indiana Wesleyan University and did that. But even in the process of that, I was not going to be a pastor.
I always had that thing, the restlessness that I think comes from not surrendering to a call.
I became a youth pastor right out of college. I was a single guy and really zealous, really wanted to reach teens and show them who Jesus was. And I met this incredible girl. She was going to Kansas State University. We fell in love really fast, but we put the cart before the horse and we found out that we had a kid on the way. We weren't married and I was a youth pastor.
And then he told me what had happened. And he was so broken. And it was a weird switch too, because I had been very used to being the broken one in the family and my family needing to be the one that extended grace to me. And here my brother was.
And so I had to submit my credentials and turn them over to the district superintendent. I had a moral failure and went through the whole process with our denomination of restoration.
I remember saying to him what my dad had always said to us, we're going to walk through this with you. We're going to do this together.
My family never offered any sort of judgment. They gave us great truth. They helped us walk through some tough moments. I'm in the ministry today as a pastor because of how our family, in essence, reacted to our moral failure. As we began to re-enter ministry and a church up in Rapid City, South Dakota said, hey, we'll give you an opportunity. Feeling like a black sheep, feeling way far removed from being effective and being the right person. My family just encouraged us through the whole first couple years where I had no self-confidence.
At the last gathering, I was walking with my dad and I turned to him and I said, do you think that I could ever be a lead pastor? Do you think that could ever happen for me? And I remember him stopping and looking at me and saying, oh, absolutely. You have all the ability to do that, but you need to know that you're called to that.
When my sister and I started talking about her potentially being a lead pastor in Wisconsin, I was really excited for her. And she was asking me questions and I was asking questions back with her. So it's a blessing, I know, that we don't take for granted. But now we get along.
I think that when the challenges come and when the tests come and when the trials come, it is each other that helps keep us grounded because we know that we are not alone. We know that we can do it together.
We're great. I'm smarter and better looking, but that's about it.